No matter how petty you are, how limited you are, your essential nature is all-permeating reality. If you want a very easy way to understand, think of your dream. How big is your dream world? But is there any corner of your dream universe where you are not? They're all in your own consciousness. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Brahmanandam Param Sukhadam Kevalam Dhyanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagan Sadrisham Tattvamasyadilakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om. Adoration to Sadguru, who is Brahman, the giver of supreme bliss, embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second, vast as the ether, infinite, eternal, beyond the three gunas and their modifications, the supreme preceptor. Yoga Vasishta Upashama Prakarana, section 18. O Rama, the fact is that you are the self, which is vast like the sky, or as pure as smokeless fire. That's the good news being given to you. O Rama, Rama is in everyone. So the teaching was not confined to Rama as a person. It relates to all souls. Just as there is no room for darkness in a blazing fire, in the same way there is no room for ignorance and the effects of the self. The teaching is focused upon who am I? Most important fact within your personality is you. But then who are you? You raise your mind, this is me. But that one finger is not you. You show your whole face. But that's only your instrument, your skeleton. Where is you? Who are you? Now go into your mental set. And through mental information, you bring out concept of yourself. Don't you know I belong to a certain genealogy and I relate to big people in the ancient world? Joking, but the idea is that all that is not real. The answer is, I am that am I. It's like all reflected suns in different jars of water. They have different personalities. They live in different circumstances. But when the question is put in a profound way, what is? Who are you, O reflected sun? The answer is the sun. Sun is the only reality. The reflections don't. You see the face of the same famous personality through all houses, through your TV and whatever, and even by your iPad. But that doesn't make the person many. Person is just one. But in every iPad, the person will If person is giving a news or a message, it goes in all millions of people. Look at the person. The real I am is being interpreted by countless iPads. Not the normal iPad, a little bigger iPad. Your brain, your nervous system, and behind your brain, your mind. Mind is the energy going through your brain. And behind the mind, ultimately, is cosmic mind. And the reality behind the cosmic mind is just Brahman, pure, absolute self. Any more you want to understand, you must realize it will not be real. Because your mind is trying to conjecture what that absolute looks like. Its absolute reality cannot come within the frame of your mind unless you unframe your mind. Now, unframing the mind, let's put it more in a strict way, purifying the chitta. 3 obstacles have to be removed. Mala, vikshepa, and avarana. Mala is gross impurity. Again, I will bring you the simple, easier way to understand. Your mind is the medium through which you discover who am I. You have no other choice. Hand can find, I can't find it. Nose can't smell it. Ears can't probe into it. The mind is the only stuff that you rely upon for staying in the world or attaining liberation. 𝘰𝘦𝘴𝘵𝘢𝘵 𝘮𝘪𝘯𝘵 𝘮𝘪𝘯𝘕. Mind is the cause of bondage and release. The mind is your greatest gift, blessing, greatest source of all that you want. It's mind. So mind yourself. And mind acts like a mirror. And mirror, putting an ordinary way to understand, presents 3 challenges. If mirror has a lot of dust, and you bring to your face to it, mirror, mirror, show my face. And you shall see your face. Mirror has a face to your face. And then, if you remove the dust, removal of the dust is called purification. If you sublimate your malas, gross impurities, anger, hate, greed, if these are becoming minimum, now the mirror begins to show. But if you are mentally not prepared to have a big revelation, the revelation, I am that, is 1,000,000 times greater than winning a $1 million lottery. And a weak person informed he has won $1 million, there is a risk the heart may fail. So therefore, mind is not ready because of subtle desires called vikshepa. That's what happens then. The moment your vision turns towards the real, your mind begins to shake. The vasanas, like so many clouds, are creating illusions about the shining sun. And so when you see how wonderful you are, but then through many angles, your head is moving this way, that way, that way, that way. Where am I? It's called distraction, vikshepa. And vikshepa is caused by subtle desires called vasanas. When vasanas begin to develop purification, then comes your moving towards revelation. What happens when vasanas are purified? The veil of illusion that was as if obstructing your view, that veil moves away. And then there is a revelation for which your hand doesn't have to shake. The mirror itself is not needed. With that revelation, you have realized the truth. So you go through 3 stages: mala, vikshepa, avarana. To remember this easily, a project of looking at your face. First stage, remove dust from the mirror. Second stage, don't be too shocked by seeing yourself in amazing faces. In other words, what is happening? Your hand begins to shake. You are seeing your face, but you have forgotten what your hand is doing. So it is like that. You don't know which face to look at. So bring steadiness in your hand. And that's done by upasana, by bhakti and meditation. And finally, when clarity begins to come, your whole head then comes down. Tremendous humility. All your hair comes down. That's called avarana. Avarana is removed by jnana. The spiritual knowledge, intuitional knowledge. Who am I? And for that, all that you shake your hand a little. Avarana doesn't require much effort. No one is one's friend. No one is one's enemy. It is the divine will that creates the illusion of friends and enemies. Hard thing to swallow. But a spiritually mature mind must be ready to let in truth. Friends and enemies. Firstly, in a very simple way to understand, if you are addicted to drinking, anyone who helps you in that addiction is a good friend. Oh, friend, how wonderful. Don't tell anybody. Be close. But when your mind has switched to becoming healthy, Now, the same friend you want to avoid. The same friend now becomes a terrible enemy. Put it in another way. All relations are led by karmas. So, if you are suffering due to someone's activity, it is not someone entirely responsible. Your karma has drawn the person. Your karma has created that type of set. But don't become too upset. It's also an opportunity to change your karma. The same person who is causing you problem also giving you an opportunity to develop willpower, to develop patience, to allow your maturer form of love to develop. So, develop that type of understanding. Otherwise, your mind is simply running from, this is bad karma, where should I go to get a good karma? You don't go anywhere. Open the channel. When you face a negative karma in a profound way, that situation that presented negativity now is interpreted as an opportunity. So that magical power exists in your own soul. So much so, the entire world becomes nothing but friend, 𝘰𝘨𝘢. And that's not enough. The whole world is the self. Men of contracted vision hold views like, this is my friend, this is my dear relative. This one is not my friend. Definitely, he is my terrible enemy. Such considerations and concepts are the results of a deluded vision. The wise, on the other hand, hold the vision, all is the self. You must realize here the teaching is on a very advanced point for still easier understanding. If in your dream you are interacting with friends and enemies, neither the friends are real nor the enemies are real. Nor your interaction is real. But if you don't know it, if you are not awakened, suffering is there. Same is the situation in this practical world. It's called long dream. But it is a dream. Now the message behind it, if you want to assimilate it profoundly, you develop a loving heart. But love that does not limit itself by attachment or by what's called Moha, deluded vision. The love that goes on, conquering layers of illusion created by Moha. This also is another practical reality. You do not develop suddenly pure love. It starts. You suddenly don't create pure fire. I'm talking old example. It starts with little smoke. And then comes fire. But if you are not expert in kindling fire, then you stay stuck with smoke. Moha is always there in every family. But joyous progress comes when you go on shaking off moha and turning into prema, love. Moha-based movement is like a lot of smoke. Prema-based movement, mist is moving away and the sun is rising. All that is poetic description, but in practical life, what happens? You deal with people whom you love with a mind that is not dictated by egoism, but dictated by heart. You just don't want to satisfy your ego's temper. You wait. Patience. In spite of challenging situation, your love does not fail. And that's with the illustrations. Mother's love for a baby. But mother and baby stay only limited to that relation. The goal is allow that type of a heart to develop without any condition towards the whole. Naturally, it is progressive movement. Beginning with your near and dear ones. Near and dear ones should not become a basis for your constant stress. They should become a basis for leading you Godwards. It should become all an ashram. Such considerations and concepts are the results of a deluded vision. Concepts of this is friend, this is enemy. The wise, on the other hand, hold the vision. All is the self. More in a concrete way, is illustrated by the parable, or it is said that it happened in the life of Sri Ramana Maharshi, when some thieves entered with the idea that there is a lot of money has come into the temple. And they found Ramana Maharshi in meditation. And they had no regard for his meditation or whatever. They all wanted money. They asked, where is that? Where do you keep your money? And they beat him up. But his disciples came running, having heard all that sound, with tremendous anger. And in their hands, they picked up some sticks, etc., to beat up these thieves. By the time Ramana Maharshi opens up his eyes and he says, don't go after beating them up. If your teeth bite the tongue, do you beat your teeth out? Your enemies and friends, they are all nothing but teeth and tongue. You care for them. If the teeth bite, you care for the teeth. You go to the dentist. And you tell him, be careful for the tooth. It bites my tongue. Try to figure that out. Consider all relations in this world put together as like one personality. Your deeper level is cosmic. And everything has its place. Only if what's needed is putting things in order. Teeth should be in there, doing their job. Tongue should do its job. They should be harmonized. Two ways to go, sur and asur. If you are given harmonium or whatever musical, your music becomes screwed if it is not in harmony. Being in harmony is sur. And that's the word you use for gods. When godly virtues begin to develop, you are in harmony. Your thought, your word, your action, they are all getting harmonized. On the other hand, when you are moving away from mature vision, thoughts go one way, words go another way, action goes another way. That also creates its own sound. The shrieking of so many strange animals, croaking of crows. Don't call them music. That's asur. It is not in harmony. Put it in a very simple way to understand. When the mind is constantly dealing with anger, hatred, irritability, sorrow, despair, you are not enjoying music. You are enjoying the magic, a bad magic. A liberated sage is established in the vision, I am the self. There is no object in which I am not present. That open your ears. What's the goal, the ideal? To have that revelation in the entire universe, as far as your mind can go. It may take trillion years for certain light to come to your eyes. But you are already there. Not this little you. Not the reflected sun. The sun. But the reflected sun is what? The sun. No matter how petty you are, how limited you are, your essential nature is all-permeating reality. If you want a very easy way to understand, think of your dream. How big is your dream world? But is there any corner of your dream universe where you are not? They're all in your own consciousness. Allow the mind to have that. Give the mind relaxation, calmness. Put away the burden of your worries. Just tell them, don't worry, all the burden will stay. Just give room for half an hour. And then allow that profound vision. The I am is all-pervading self. 𝘗𝘦𝘴𝘐 𝘠𝘢𝑚, I am all that is. The result is not ego inflammation. I'm all that is. Start jumping, no? The experiences mind has gone into deep, deep sleep. The entire mind and all that it says moves away. You are diving into profound peace. As you study this, you gain insight into how to practice Vedantic meditation. And as you listen, it is a meditative process that becomes more and more enriched by studying, listening. There is no place where I am not. There is no object in which I am not already present. There is no place where I am not already there. The entire world of time and space is permeated by the self. I am. That I am, if your mind is thinking of history, was as full as it is now, even trillion years before. And that fullness cannot be fooled by this world of illusion. So leading your eye, which has gone into mayhem, to real I am, that's the whole project of spirituality, of religion. And it demands integration in your personality. Karma, action, should not stop. It should become karma yoga. Enjoy doing your duties with the spirit of being good and doing good. What an opportunity that you are led to do karma. Not stay stuck in your room. And allow your feelings to go on discovering the joy of love emerging out of Moha. How wonderful. And similarly, allowing your will to discover its strength. Constantly human mind desires. Behind desire there is a strength, will. But when you desire and look at your will is shaky. And so, the mind doesn't have complete strength. But that becomes cured by dhyana yoga. Allowing the understanding, as you go on understanding that you are not led by your ego. Ego doesn't have all the power. And ego itself doesn't have substantial reality. So once you are being handled by divine will, nothing in the world can shake you. So the more you have surrender to God, increasing love of God and dependence on God's will, greater is your sense of freedom in your mind. Mind is not burdened by stress. There's no need for stress. But all these great qualities will come progressively. Don't think of it to attain it within a day or two. But even if it takes long, every degree of this progress is so delightful to your heart. The question how long it will take, that never bothers him. The question how long can I go on eating, it never bothers a person. There is nothing which is not indwelt by me. It means I am the interpenetrating essence behind all that exists. Thus, knowing a sage does not allow his intellect to be affected by the taints of illusion, which implies don't allow your mind to be restricted by ignorance, egoism, attachment, hatred, fear of death. These are called kleshas, afflictions. They are all taints of illusion. O Rama, all living beings are your relatives. We use the word 𝘮𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀, universal brotherhood. And put it in another way, the word Vishwamitra. The whole world is your friend. And put it in another way, all is the self. I am all that exists. But all this is not simple mental palabras. This is the deepest level of an experience, an intuitional revelation. But in the beginning, palabras have their role. You allow the mind to listen to these words and enjoy, called affirmation. Even though the mind is not fully understanding it, but let the mantra go into your mind. And it will activate mind's ability to switch from prema to 𝘳𝘬𝘢, switch from what just seems pleasant to what is really as one should aspire for. The switch begins to come when you allow profounder teachings and feelings to enter your mind. And that happens through satsanga. When you sing great songs of Vedanta, of Bhakti, it goes on injecting in your mind a subtle mystic energy. O Rama, all living beings are your relatives. Siya Ram Mai Sab Jag Jani. Everything. Not only living beings are your relatives, every brick, every thorn, every piece of matter, not just for the earth planet, all the universe. All this is nothing but the absolute reality, Brahman. That Brahman is I am. Fortunately, unfortunately, there is nothing else. It feels like becoming too lonely. They have to do some more sadhana. Every soul has encountered numerous parents, friends, sisters and brothers. So don't get too alarmed when you see your little change in your family setup. And of course, so many things go on happening that are not always joyous in every family. But don't get too involved in it. Allow your mind to understand that this type of experience you have, not just in this life, millions of lives. And those very souls that you once worked for so hard in a close relationship. They may be just your neighbors. And that's why we don't want even to look at them. That's the magic of karma. But if you grow up in a spiritual way, whether you look at them or not, your heart sends out message, 𝘳𝘬𝘢𝘐𝑚 sukhi. You are the Divine Mother, and there is not a single one who is not a baby. Fortunately, unfortunately. It is important to bring that to your mind, that all that your mind occupies in relation to things that have happened in this life, open your mind. Countless, every life you have gone through, you have suffered from countless things. So, the moral of that just like all those countless troubles have passed on, all this will pass. Next moral, don't stay in that deluded level to go on encountering karma-based relations. Get rid of karma. No relation, revelation. But you use the language of relation allegorically with God. Relate yourself to God. But as you go on relating, it is not relation, it ends up. It is just revelation. And it is beyond elation. Without manipulation. Therefore, with increasing insight into the nature of the self, you must not entertain raga-dvesha, attachment and hatred towards human relations. Don't crowd your mind with raga, impressions of attachment and impressions of hatred. The mind is so jumbled up with all these impressions that whenever you have time, you are just thinking about the cozy feelings you had with people, and then all the ugly feelings you had from people. Sometimes you listen to this type of music, that type. The mind enjoys the rasa, called 𝘰𝘰𝘪𝘯𝘥. And the soul gets tied up by rasa. Rasa is raw. So now don't work on the basis of raga and dvesha. Raga and dvesha have to become sublimated. Raga ends up, all is Brahman. You are attached not to one, but all. The attachment to infinity, not limited attachment. Limited attachment is raga. And attachment turns into sublimity, this infinite attachment. Dvesha is a movement to say no, no. The ultimate, that no, no should turn to neti, neti. Nothing exists. all that mind, intellect, ego bring out, that's projections, that's not the reality. Nada. So let your raga become absolute love, and dvesha become absolute Vedanta jnana. Raga is bhakti, dvesha is when that transformed, not in its early stage. So raga dvesha turned into jnana and bhakti and jnana. Either entertain the thought that all beings are your brothers and sisters, or the thought that all beings are nothing but the self. Both are pointing to your ascending movement. First stage, all are one family. 𝘮𝘢𝘵𝘐, the whole world, universal brotherhood. And that again, you can begin from a very practical level. Don't consider yourself confined to only one nation, one country, and don't feel that good should happen to only my people. Let others go into hell. Let culture, allow a higher culture to enter your mind, that all human beings, whether they are in Alaska or in Australia, in New Zealand, or no matter where they are, let them all be like my family. And with a good heart and good, go one step further. Let all souls, birds, animals, monkeys, bears, elephants, fishes in the sea, let them all have a divine hand behind them. You are not spending anything out of that. So you shouldn't feel shaken. Therefore, the Upanishad introduces that prayer, Sarve bhavantu sukhina, Sarve santu niramaya, Sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaśčid dukkha-bhag-bhavet. And with this, I'm going to conclude for today. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.